countries. FM Wang visited India in June 2014 and was among the first foreign ministers to be received by Honorable External Affairs Minister. EAM had visited China in January-February 2015. Foreign ministers have been meeting regularly on the margins of multilateral meetings. Most recently, they had met in Moscow during the Russia-India-China trilateral meeting in April 2016. During the visit, the two sides will discuss various issues of mutual interest, including the upcoming multilateral meetings, namely G20 summit being held in China and the BRICS summit being held in India. My second announcement pertains to the fourth Foreign Office consultations between India and Thailand. Fourth Foreign Office consultations between India and Thailand were held in New Delhi on the 4th of August 2016. The Indian side was led by Srimati Preeti Saran, Secretary East, and the Thailand side was led by His Excellency Apichar Chinwano, Permanent Secretary, Thailand Ministry of Foreign Affairs. At the FOCs, the two sides held deliberations on the entire gamut of bilateral relations, including the follow-up on the outcomes of the recent state visit of His Excellency General Prayut Chan-o-cha, Prime Minister of Thailand, on 16th to 18th June 2016, celebration of the 70th anniversary of diplomatic relations next year, cooperation in economic, trade and investment, political, defense and security related matters, connectivity and increasing people-to-people ties. During the consultations, both sides exchanged views on issues of mutual concern at regional and multilateral level, including cooperation in ASEAN, BIMSTEC, ACD, UN, and other international organizations. This completes my announcements. The floor is now open to questions. Smita?
Vikas, could you please give us some clarity onto what really transpired in Islamabad? Because Mr. Rajnath Singh in the House, of course, saying that ANI, DD, PTI were not allowed and that he does not really know about the MEA protocol, but diplomatic sources saying that this should not be considered a blackout, which forced, in fact, one of the parliamentarians to ask if the MEA and MHA are really on the same page or not.
First of all, I would like you to peruse what Honorable Home Minister said in Parliament today. Let me read out to you the relevant portions of Honorable Home Minister's response to the questions posed by Honorable Parliamentarians. And I quote from the transcript which has been made available by the Rajya Sabha Secretariat. अब हमारी वहाँ पर जो स्पीच थी, कवर की गई या नहीं की गई, और कवर करने की ऐसी परंपरा पहले रही है या नहीं रही है, नहीं की गई, क्या डेलिब्रेटली नहीं की गई, इसका इस समय उत्तर देना हमारे लिए कठिन होगा. हाँ, इतना मैं कहूँगा कि मैं तो स्पीच दे रहा था, मैंने नहीं देखा कि उसका लाइव टेलीकास्ट हुआ या नहीं हुआ. लेकिन ये सच है कि भारत से जो दूरदर्शन और ANI के रिपोर्टर और हमारे PTI के रिपोर्टर्स थे, उनको अंदर प्रवेश करने की इजाज़त नहीं दी गई. ये सच है. एंड लेटर ही वंस अगेन क्लैरिफाइड. एक बात कि हमारी जो स्पीच ब्लैकआउट कर दी गई, अब वहाँ पर इससे पहले परंपरा क्या रही है, इसके बारे में मुझे विदेश मंत्रालय से विस्तृत जानकारी लेनी पड़ेगी कि क्या परंपरा रही है. परंपरा की जानकारी मुझे नहीं है, इसलिए उस संबंध में तो मैं कुछ नहीं कह पाऊँगा. So I would like to ask, where is the contradiction between what was put out yesterday and what Honorable Home Minister has said today? The point at issue is that the media that accompanied Honorable Home Minister was not in the room, and a number of you who had applied for visas did not get visas. Naturally, this restrictive approach by Pakistan, even for a multilateral event, is not helpful in promoting closer ties between SAARC countries. Insofar as the practices regarding the live coverage of such SAARC meetings is concerned, this was clarified yesterday, and we would naturally defer to the SAARC Secretariat in such matters. So let me say categorically that there is no contradiction between what was said by Honorable Home Minister in Parliament today and what is the general understanding of SAARC practices.
Was it a blackout or not?
It's been very, very clear.
लाइव टेलीकास्ट नहीं होना एक अलग बात है. दूसरी बात है कि DD, PTI और जो ANI की टीम थी उनको अंदर जाने नहीं देना, उनको रिकॉर्ड नहीं करने देना. और दूसरी बड़ी बात ये कि किसी भी पाकिस्तान के चैनल में किसी भी तरह का जो कवरेज है कम से कम हमारी निगाह में नहीं आया. तो इस हिसाब से तो एक ब्लैकआउट तो था वहाँ पे।
अगर इवेंट ही मीडिया के लिए ओपन नहीं है तो आप उसको ब्लैकआउट कैसे कह सकते हैं? If it is a SARC event, we have to follow the SARC protocol in such matters. This is the SARC protocol.
So a minister of the Kerala cabinet has made an allegation that the MEA has denied him diplomatic passport. Could you elaborate?
I think you are referring to Kerala Minister, Mr. K.T. Jalil. I think there seems to be a misunderstanding. This matter is not about the issue of a diplomatic passport. It is about the timing of a ministerial visit. At this time, the focus of our mission and consulate in Saudi Arabia is on helping the Indian workers who are facing hardship and also on helping the Indian pilgrims who have arrived in the holy city of Mecca for the sacred Hajj pilgrimage. Surely, it cannot be anybody's case that the mission should not pay attention to the requirements of the Indian citizens, including those in distress. Kalul.
So the Saudi ambassador has told us today that the exact number of Indians affected in Saudi Arabia is 2,500, and it only refers to one particular company which has led to this situation. Earlier, we have seen the External Affairs Minister herself say that in a tweet that it's 10,000. Later on, it came down to 7,700. What exactly is the exact figure? I mean, if you could just clarify.
No, we
And
are
is
in
it, does it just include one company?
Look, let me put the issues being faced by Indian workers in Saudi Arabia into 4 different clusters. The first and the most immediate cluster is the cluster relating to humanitarian issues. You know, the conditions of the camps in which they are living, the health conditions there, the safety conditions there, the security conditions there, and most importantly, whether they are getting food or not. So there, as you know very well, following the intervention by Honorable External Affairs Minister and following the visit of Honorable Minister of State General V.K. Singh to Saudi Arabia, the Saudi authorities have themselves clarified that they are going to be very prompt in addressing all the humanitarian issues being faced by Indian workers. Instructions have already been issued by the Saudi authorities to maintain cleanliness, provide electricity, water supply, and medical facilities at the camps in which the Indians are staying. And the food also is now being provided by a Saudi caterer. So that is as far as the humanitarian issues are concerned. The second set of issues pertains to claims by Indian workers. Now, earlier, in accordance with Saudi law, individual complaints used to go to labor courts. Now, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia Ministry of Labor has set up a committee to look into the claims of the workers. A crisis management group has also been set up by the Ministry of Labor to settle all issues related to Indian workers. The Ministry of Labor will now also appoint a lawyer, and we will know the exact procedure regarding this in the next 2 to 3 days. So the point to note here is that those workers who have not been paid for several months, even if they choose to return to India, their claims regarding their unpaid wages will be filed, will be lodged, and will be pursued by the Saudi authorities. The third set of issues pertains to relocation. Workers who want to remain in Saudi Arabia and want to try and seek employment in other companies, considering the original companies for which they came to work have folded or are no longer in a position to hire them. So there the Saudi authorities have conveyed that they are willing to renew resident permits and labor cards to the Indian workers without any fines or fees. Workers who are willing to be transferred to other employers would be transferred without payment of fee or charge and without needing the consent of the current employer. Workers who wish to transfer their services can request the Ministry of Labor for grant of a 3-month temporary resident permit cum labor card. We believe that many companies, including some Indian construction companies, are interested in taking the services of the retrenched workers. And if such a development indeed happens, then this would be a win-win situation for all. The fourth set of issues pertains to repatriation. There, the Saudi authorities have conveyed that in case Indian workers wish to return to India, they themselves, meaning the Saudi authorities, will make all the necessary arrangements. The workers can authorize the Indian consulate in Jeddah to follow up on their cases in labor courts and proceed on exit if they wish. The Saudi authorities have ensured speeding up of the final exit for these workers. Now, you would appreciate that these things do take time. There will be a lag with which all workers will be given their applications, and issuance of transfer permits will also have to be carried out. Now, our consulate has already given an initial list of workers willing to come back to India and those seeking transfer to Saudi authorities. As you can see, due to our excellent relationship with Saudi Arabia and efforts made at the highest level, things are in control and the humanitarian issue is being handled with utmost care and consideration. So I think we have to wait for a little more time before we can have full clarity as to how many Indians want to come back, how many want to remain there and wish to pursue employment with other companies, etc. Sridhar.
So you've implied that Pakistan did not violate the SARC protocol by not allowing DD-ANI into the room. Yet you have criticized them for their restrictive approach. So what is
You
this?
are confusing two issues. It is one issue to allow Indian media to travel to Pakistan to cover events which are open to the media to cover. And it is one issue not to allow Indian media to travel at all. Let's not conflate the two issues.
So recently there have been report about Indian prisoner Hamid Ansari in Peshawar court. He has been attacked, and like in 2 months, he has been attacked twice. So what is the status? Because earlier they denied the consular access for Hamid Ansari.
Correct. Now there is, as you may recall, a petition in the Peshawar High Court requesting the court to summon the superintendent of the jail where Hamid Ansari is currently lodged. So far as we understand, the petition was filed following earlier reports that Hamid Ansari was attacked in prison. Through our High Commission in Islamabad, the government has also raised the matter of Mr. Ansari's well-being and his early release. We have also reiterated our earlier stand and request for consular access and asked the government of Pakistan to allow him to speak to his family. So that is the status. Aditya?
So we've seen in the last 1 month Pakistan raking up the Kashmir issue regularly at the United Nations level. We have seen them approach the UN at different forums. Syed Akbaruddin has also spoken recently on the same issue, but now United Nations Chief Spokesperson has said that their UNMOG's mandate is not beyond the line of control. Now that's a major statement. How does India look at it?
No, I think they have stated what is the correct facts in the matter. It is not for UNMOGIP to monitor the situation in Jammu and Kashmir, and this has also been clarified by the official spokesperson of the United Nations Secretary General. At the back, Ashish.
Sir, could you please tell us why was there no bilateral meeting between the Home Minister and the Interior Minister of Pakistan? Because there was some statement from MHA yesterday suggesting that the bilateral could not happen because there is no forward movement so far on Pathankot attack. Is this a new red line? And if this so, in November when Prime Minister visits, would he then have a bilateral with Nawaz Sharif or not?
Look, I had made this very clear in my press conference, I think last week or the week before that, that Honorable Home Minister would be proceeding to Pakistan to participate in a multilateral event. At that time also, some of you had asked me the question, will there be bilateral meetings? I had made it very clear that he is going for a multilateral event. Subsequently, there were reports that no, there will be bilateral meetings and all that. Well, eventually you have seen what has happened. The Honorable Home Minister went to Pakistan for participation in a multilateral event. He participated in the multilateral event and he has come back. संतोष.
सर आज हम लोग गृह मंत्री जी से मिले तो ये पूछा कि प्रोटोकॉल का वहाँ कई जगह आ रही थी खबरें कि प्रोटोकॉल का पालन नहीं हुआ, तो उन्होंने बोला MEA बताएगा कि प्रोटोकॉल का पालन हुआ कि नहीं हुआ, मैं इस पर कुछ नहीं कहूँगा। तो आप
नहीं, देखिए, गृह मंत्री जी ने बहुत स्पष्ट शब्दों में और बहुत सटीक शब्दों में अपना एक स्टेटमेंट जो है आज संसद में दिया है। उस स्टेटमेंट में जितने भी मुद्दे आप लोग उठा रहे हैं उन सब मुद्दों के ऊपर उन्होंने प्रकाश डाला है। अब उसके बियॉन्ड विदेश मंत्रालय की तरफ से मेरी टिप्पणी करना उसके ऊपर उचित नहीं होगा। मेरे ख्याल से गृह मंत्री जी ने बहुत स्पष्ट तरीके से अपना बयान जो है दिया हुआ है। यस, कादम्बिनी। विदेश मंत्रालय के लोग HM के साथ गए थे। विदेश मंत्रालय और गृह मंत्रालय में पूरा तालमेल था इस विजिट को लेकर, तो इस तरह के कोई बात ही नहीं है कि आपस में हम लोग के बीच में कोई मतभेद हो या कोई स्पष्टीकरण की आवश्यकता हो। यस, ऋतु।
MEA has been projecting the Home Minister's visit as a commitment to the multilateral event.
Correct.
But eventually the whole thing turned out to be a slugfest between India and Pakistan. So do you think the visit has been successful, or did we achieve what we wanted to achieve in SARC?
To the best of my knowledge, the Home Minister did not use the word Pakistan in his statement at all. And I think the other side also did not use the word India in their statement. This was a multilateral event. It was the SARC Home Ministers meeting. The SARC Home Ministers have important issues to discuss and deliberate upon, including cross-border, including terrorism, including drug trafficking, fake currency notes and things like that. And I think our side was definitely successful in putting across our point of view on all these important matters and how it is important for SARC to have a united approach. I think I would particularly refer you to Honorable Home Minister's comments on the issue of terrorism, where he said that this distinction between good terrorists and bad terrorists, this practice of some countries to glorify terrorists as martyrs and things like that are not conducive for the overall development of the region. And such approaches should not be pursued. We should in fact pursue a cooperative approach in which all of us have a common approach to dealing with terrorism, because a terrorist is a terrorist is a terrorist. Mukesh, either. Okay.
Sir, if the decision to keep this visit of Mr. Rajnath Singh multilateral and not to go for any bilateral meeting was yours only, or did they also not request for any such meeting? And if so,
No.
can we safely assume?
There was never any proposal. I had clarified this in my press conference that there is no such proposal. Eventually, no such proposal materialized also. He went for a multilateral event.
They did not request for any such.
He went for a multilateral event. He came back from a multilateral event. That's the end of the story. Yes, Akhilesh.
So there are reports that the Honorable Home Minister left the venue without having lunch there, and he did not participate in the full deliberation after that. And if he was there, then is there any result of SARC that we can write about it?
Honorable Home Minister had made it very clear what time his flight is to leave from Islamabad. We stuck to that schedule. The lunch that you are referring, the host himself was not there. So I don't think we need to deliberate too much on whether there was a lunch or not. No, the result is very. Please refer to Honorable Home Minister's statement, the very detailed statement that he has delivered in Parliament today, in which he has clearly said what were the overall outcomes of his visit.
सर, जो बातें आप यहाँ कह रहे हैं और जो राजनाथ सिंह जी ने आज पार्लियामेंट में कहा है, कहीं ना कहीं दोनों बातों में वेरिएंस दिखाई पड़ता है, और वो इसलिए
वो आपके मस्तिष्क में ही फिर वो वेरिएंस है, मैं कहूँगा। मुझे तो कोई वेरिएंस, मैंने साफ स्पष्ट किया है कि कहाँ वेरिएंस है।
जी, वो ऐसे है कि
कहाँ विरोधाभास आपको लग रहा है?
जब उन्होंने इस बात को कहा कि जहाँ तक प्रोटोकॉल का सवाल है उस पर एमिया आपको बताएंगे, तो फिर आपको बताना चाहिए कि आखिरकार उन्होंने भोजन छोड़ करके वापस आना बेहतर समझा। क्या कोई ऐसी बात है, कोई प्रोटोकॉल है जो कि नहीं बरती गई पाकिस्तान के द्वारा,
देखिए,
या फिर आपको लगता है कि सब कुछ सही था?
मैं राजनाथ सिंह जी ने जो संसद में कहा है उसके बियॉन्ड मैं और कुछ नहीं करना चाहता हूँ। मैं इस पर और कोई टीका टिप्पणी इस पर मैं नहीं करना चाहता हूँ। जो उन्होंने बयान दिया है आज इस पार्लियामेंट में, जो स्टेटमेंट दिया है वो बहुत ही स्पष्ट है, और उसके अलावा उस पर अब और टीका टिप्पणी की आवश्यकता नहीं है। मनीष।
सर, पाकिस्तान के गृह मंत्री जब बोल रहे थे तो उस समय लाइव टेलीकास्ट हुआ था। दोबारा जब राजनाथ जी के बोलने के बाद दोबारा फिर उनका टेलीकास्ट हुआ। तो स्पीच में
मैं आपको बार बार समझा चुका हूँ, प्रैक्टिस ये होती है कि एक ओपनिंग स्टेटमेंट जो चेयर की हैसियत से दिया जाता है होस्ट कंट्री की तरफ से, वहाँ तक कई इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंसेस में ये प्रैक्टिस रही है कि वहाँ तक मीडिया को एक्सेस रहता है, वहाँ तक लाइव टेलीकास्ट होता है, उसके बाद क्लोज डोर सेशन हो जाता है ताकि फ्रैंक डिस्कशन हो सके। Oh, sorry, you already had your turn. I think, yes, we have finally, okay, yes.
Can you give a sense, any more details on the China-India foreign ministers meeting? Any investment?
No, details will be given after the meeting has happened now. I mean, I have just today announced the meeting. As you said, as I told you, 13th of August will be bilateral discussions between EM and her Chinese counterpart. There will be a readout at the end of that meeting. At the back.
As far as this KT Jalil's issue, for how many days Kerala government has to wait for a travel to Jeddah?
Look, these things, as I said, are not in our hands. We go by what is the assessment of the embassy there, whether they are in a position to handle ministerial visits at a time when they are already preoccupied with other things. And most important thing is, Government of India is responsible for the safety, security, and welfare of all Indians belonging to every Indian state.
Does that mean the embassy said his presence was not required?
Yes.
सर अरब मसले पर आपने पूरी विस्तृत जानकारी
हाँ.
दी और वीके सिंह साहब वहाँ ऑलरेडी हैं, तो उनका ईयर लिफ्ट प्लान क्या है, कब वहाँ से लोग
आज वापस आ जाएंगे वो। आज वहाँ से वापस वो प्रस्थान करेंगे।
तो लोगों को साथ लेकर या अकेले आ रहे हैं सर?
नहीं, मैंने कहा ना, अब तो साथ लाने की बात ही नहीं है, क्योंकि अब तो सऊदी अथॉरिटीज़ ने कहा है कि अगर जो भी रिपैट्रिएशन वर्कर्स चाहते हैं वो उनकी जिम्मेदारी हो गई है। At the back, Srinjoy.
So you said that the EAM would lead that delegation to Italy.
Correct.
For the Mother Teresa function. Who are the other members? Is the Chief
No,
Minister of Delhi part of that?
I spoke to the External Affairs Minister today also, and that delegation is still in the process of being finalized. I cannot give you a readout on that delegation because the composition is still in the process of being finalized. Yeah.
How would you qualify Mr. Nisar Khan not attending the lunch with Mr. Rajnath?
It is not for me to qualify or disqualify. These questions should be put to the host.
Recently, Uttarakhand Chinese troops entered. Could you raise the issue with the Chinese FM?
देखिए, on this particular issue, Honorable Raksha Mantri has already issued a clarification in Parliament. There are established practices between India and China. Border personnel meetings. Meeting also took place recently to resolve such issues at the army-to-army level. Thank you all.